The year is 2008, and the world teeters on the brink of war. Radical ultranationalists have seized power in Moscow. Their goal, the re-establishment of the old Soviet Empire. Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan. One by one, the nearby independent republics slip back into the Russian orbit. Russian tanks sit in the Caucasus Mountains and the Baltic forests, poised to strike to the south and east. The world holds its breath and waits. For one small group of elite soldiers, the war has already begun. U.S. Special Forces Group 5, 1st Battalion, D Company. Deployed on peacekeeping duty to the Republic of Georgia in the Caucasus, this handful of Green Berets represents the very tip of the spear, the first line of defense. Equipped with the latest battlefield technology and trained in the latest techniques of covert warfare, they strike, swiftly, silently, invisibly. They call themselves the Ghosts.
Welcome to Tbilisi, gentlemen. Hope you got some shut-eye on the flight from Bragg, because now that we're here, we got a lot of work to do. Here's the situation. We've been deployed at the request of the Georgian government to help them deal with rebels on their Russian border. Our area of operations will be the South Ossetian Autonomous Region, 1,500 square miles of small villages and rugged backcountry. The Ossetians have been skirmishing with the Georgian army for years, but lately, the attacks have escalated to the verge of all-out war. Washington thinks that the Russians have engineered the current flare-up as an excuse to step in and annex the whole region. Our job is to cut the legs out from under the revolution before that can happen. Our first mission is a raid on a rebel base in the Caucasus Mountains. A rebel leader named Bakur Papashvili has been attacking army convoys across the Terek River. You'll need to take out his guard post first, then hit his main camp. You'll find Papashvili in the caves at the top of the hill where he set up a command center. Take him alive if you can, but remember that he won't surrender unless all his guards are eliminated.
Seems quiet enough.
Too quiet.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. He's history. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's history. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Right on top of them. He's history. Kill confirmed. He's history. He's history. Another kill. Kill confirmed.
tapped for a search and rescue. The Navy's been flying sorties against rebel positions from its carrier battle group in the Black Sea. Last night, the bad guys got lucky with a SAM and took out one of our F-18s. The pilot and the weapons officers both bailed out before impact, but the rebels picked them up shortly after they activated their beacons. They're being held for interrogation at a farm near the crash site. Your job is to go in and bring them back out alive. Recon photos show the F-18 is still largely intact but heavily guarded. If it's possible to plant a demo charge and blow the plane, do it, but don't jeopardize your main mission. And try to minimize Ossetian casualties. The Russians are already making a big stink at the UN about us being here, and we don't want to give them any more ammunition. If Moscow decides to intervene, we're going to find ourselves smack in the middle of a major war.
No moon, that's good.
Going to night vision.
He's history. Goodbye. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's history. Got the cargo. Goodbye.
Ты будешь застрелен.
Kill confirmed. He's history. Got the cargo. He's history.
Just came down from HQ, gentlemen. We have official confirmation that at 0600 hours, 3 Russian armored divisions crossed the border and linked up with the rebel forces in the north. The Russian foreign minister has issued a statement condemning international meddling in regional affairs. Looks like we got ourselves a full-scale international incident. For now, the U.S. is still backing the legitimate Georgian government. Our orders are, quote, to aid the Georgian Army's defensive operations in any way practical. Short and sweet, that means we've got the green light to blow stuff up. First priority is to slow down the main armored column headed for Tbilisi. We've identified an ambush point about 60 clicks west of here, where the highway crosses under a rail line. A Georgian command post is nearby. If it's overrun, their entire western flank will collapse. Take out the Russian advance patrols first, then the tanks. And keep your demolitions expert undercover until you need him. Those tanks aren't going to be stopped by anything less than a rocket up the tailpipe.
Стой!
Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed.
Georgians have stopped the Russians temporarily, but they're not going to hold out for long. The president and his cabinet have already fled the country to set up a government in exile. We're in country only for as long as it takes to get the rest of our people out safely. HQ just got a radio call from a couple of Brits up near the village of Amida. Their transportation broke down and they're cut off from the Georgian lines. We're sending you in by chopper to open up an escape route for them. You'll need to move fast. In their last message, they said they thought they'd been spotted by a Russian patrol.
Remember, the blue helmets are the good guys.
No shooty blue, got it.
Kill confirmed.
Стой!
Kill confirmed. D's history. D's history. Kill confirmed. D's history. D's history. Goodbye. D's history. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Got the cargo. Got the cargo.
get the hell out of Dodge. Intel says Russian troops have reached the city limits. The rest of our people have already been evac'd. You gentlemen are the absolute tip of the dachshund's tail. The Navy is running a shuttle between our embassy and the USS Ronald Reagan out in the Black Sea. 2 hours from now, the last Seahawk will leave the embassy's roof. You'd better be on it. On the way there, there's one thing we want you to check out. The Russians brought down one of our Seahawks on the last run. Hit it with a man-portable SAM before it reached the embassy. It crashed in a park just north of your position. We haven't received any communication from the crew. No voice, no beacon. Probably there are no survivors. But your orders are to check out the wreckage and make sure. Be on the lookout for Russian patrols, and watch out for Georgian civilians as well. There are plenty of refugees in the streets, and we want to keep collateral damage to a minimum.
The sooner that chopper gets here, the better.
Couldn't agree more. Enemy down.
Good shit.
Scratch another one. Enemy down. Another kill. Scratch another one. Another kill. Enemy down. Enemy down. Scratch another one. Scratch another one.
Нас атакуют!
Scratch another one.
Grenade!
Another kill. Tank spotted.
one piece of Russian scrap. Scratch another one. Full throttle. Out of sight. We're under fire. Another kill. Scratch another one. Advance at all costs.
Official. President Arbatov just appeared welcoming the Republic of Georgia into the new Russian Democratic Union. Of course, no one's recognizing the annexation. The Georgian government in exile issued a strong denial from their offices in Geneva, and the U.S., Great Britain, and Germany have all publicly condemned the Russian invasion. But all the talk in the world isn't going to budge those tanks in Tbilisi. The big boys are convinced that Arbatov and his generals are engineering another intervention. Satellites have detected major troop movements on the Baltic coast near the Latvian border. Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia were all part of the old Soviet Empire, and bringing them back under Moscow's control has been part of the ultranationalist agenda for years. We're sending you in to gather intelligence about the coming attack. The Russians have set up a command post at Izborsk, an old medieval fortress a few miles from the border. Your mission is to infiltrate the post and recover any documents describing the Russian battle plans. Watch out for patrols. There's been a lot of troop movement along the road. There's also a comm station inside the castle. Don't let the garrison radio for help, or you'll have a major firefight on your hands. One final twist. There's a mobile SAM site nearby. Reconnoiter, and if it's lightly guarded, take it out with rockets.
Welcome to Russia, comrade.
Everybody get your passports ready. Tank spotted. Another kill. Enemy down. Scratch one piece of Russian scrap. Another kill. Another kill. Enemy down. Enemy down. Scratch another one. Another kill.
Козёл.
Enemy down. Enemy down. Enemy down. Scratch another one. Another kill. Another kill.
Grenade!
Scratch another one.
Bad news. The Russians went on the offensive in the Baltics this morning, 3 days ahead of schedule. Satellite images show two main thrusts, one along the coast to Tallinn and the other straight past Izborsk to Riga. Senior Command is trying to field a defensive force from our bases in Germany, but they need more time, and we're the ones who are going to provide it. Your mission is to blow the bridge where the Riga Highway crosses the Lubana River. This will seriously damage the enemy's ability to bring forward reinforcements and will slow their advance dramatically. Plant demo charges on both of the main pillars of the bridge, then clear out to the extraction zone. Don't try to engage the primary force guarding the bridge. They'll eat you for lunch. But use your own judgment on the Russian camp near the river. If it's lightly guarded, take it out. It'll only add to the disruption.
short on time. Let's move out.
I hear you.
Черт!
Another kill. Enemy down. Scratch another one. Enemy down. Scratch another one. Incoming armor. Another kill. Enemy down. Another kill. Kill confirmed. Tank destroyed. Tank destroyed. Kill confirmed. Another kill. Got armor. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Scratch another one. Enemy down. Scratch another one.
1st Armored Division has managed to stop the Russian advance, but just barely. We've got reinforcements coming up from the coast, but they won't be here until tomorrow. Right now, the situation is very fluid. If the Russians resume the attack before we're ready, we're not sure our line will hold. The main concentration of Russian troops in this sector is near a little Lithuanian village named Venta. They've set up mobile artillery in the hills nearby and are using it to shell our position here. Your mission is to go in and take out that artillery. The chopper will drop you at an abandoned farm just west of town. It's unlikely that your arrival will go undetected, so you'll need to establish a defensive perimeter quick, or you'll be overrun. Once you're in place, HQ will launch an attack down the main road. Hold the farm until you see our tanks, then link up with them and proceed into the village. Clear out the village, then proceed to the artillery batteries in the hills. One anti-tank rocket apiece should do the job.
Now I know how Neil feels.
Waiting for the hammer. D's history.
D's history. D's history. Goodbye. Goodbye. Got a tank. Tank destroyed. Got armor. Tank destroyed. D's history. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. D's history. D's history. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Goodbye.
Russians are stalled just south of Riga. First Armored is prepped to launch a major offensive as soon as the weather clears. We're sending you in now behind the Russian lines to disrupt communications before the attack. Your target is a Russian listening post on the border between Lithuania and Latvia. They've set up their equipment in the middle of a swamp, so you're going to have to get your feet wet. There are 3 main islands you'll need to clear. We think the listening post itself is on the eastern island, but we want you to sweep all 3 to be certain. Try to capture the commanding officer alive if possible. He might have valuable information about the Russian defensive strategy.
Can't see squat in this fog.
We can't see them, they can't see us. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's history.
Ты мертвец!
Goodbye. Goodbye. Kill confirmed.
Стой!
He's history. He's history. He's history. He's history.
News. First Armored won major victories at Utena and Rezekne, and the Russians are falling back on all fronts. One final push, and they'll be out of the Baltics for good. Word is the Russian military brass is taking the defeat hard. They're blaming President Arbatov and the other political leaders. There just might be a coup brewing. We're sending you into Vilnius, the Lithuanian capital. The Russians have held it since the first week of the invasion, and it's been the site of some significant action by the Lithuanian underground. The place is practically in ruins. You'll be escorting a tank column into the heart of the old city to liberate what's left of the presidential palace and some other key locations. As the Russians learned in Grozny, sending armor into an urban setting without proper infantry support is suicide. The remaining Russian troops have their backs to the wall, so they're not going to go down without a fight. Watch out for snipers and anti-tank rockets fired from the shelter of the ruins. And as always, try to keep civilian casualties to a minimum.
Somebody's not getting his damage deposit back.
Those Russians party hard.
Got armor. Tank destroyed. He's history. Kill confirmed. Got armor. Tank destroyed. Goodbye. He's history. Kill confirmed. Got a tank. Tank destroyed. Got a tank. Tank destroyed. Tank destroyed. Goodbye. He's history. He's history. Got a tank. Kill confirmed. destroyed. Tank destroyed. Kill confirmed.
Last enemy units pulled back across the Latvian border sometime yesterday afternoon. Public support for the ultranationalists has dropped like a rock, and there are rumors that the military has President Arbatov under house arrest. Looks like things in Russia are turning ugly fast. Your next mission is a simple rescue. 10 days ago, 2 U.S. soldiers were taken prisoner when their Humvee was ambushed near Ludza. They're currently being held at a POW camp in Russia. Normally, Washington would let them sit out the duration, but one of them is a senator's son. Your job is to go in and bring them out alive. Security is tight. Searchlights around the perimeter, well-armed guards inside. Don't try to shoot your way in. You'll never make it. Go in quiet with silenced weapons, secure the guard post, locate the soldiers, and get out. And while you're there, be on the lookout for one other prisoner, a guy named Miroshkin. Supposedly he's being held in the infirmary. HQ says that he's some kind of major dissident and that springing him would make more trouble for the ultranationalists in Moscow.
Think they're expecting us?
Probably baked us a cake.
Short.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. 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 He's history. Goodbye. He's history. Got the cargo. He's history.
Russia is falling apart. Arbatov is dead. As far as we can tell, executed by the military as a scapegoat for the fiasco in the Baltic. Most of the country is under martial law, with soldiers patrolling the streets and curfews enforced in the major cities. It's unclear how much support the ultranationalists really have in the military. There are widespread reports of soldiers refusing to fire on civilians or even to leave their barracks. Our goal is to whittle down the base of support for the leaders of the coup. As a result, we're launching a series of covert raids against key military bases that are backing the ultranationalists. Your first target is a naval base at Murmansk. It's the headquarters of their Northern Fleet and a major operations center for their submarine service. Take a demolitions expert and blow the sub-pens and any other targets that appear promising. You'll have to move quick. Once the alarm is raised, base security will be all over you. Good luck. You're going to need it.
fresh seafood.
Keep it quiet. Another kill. Another kill. Enemy down. Enemy down. Another kill. Scratch another one. Enemy down. Scratch another one. Another kill. Enemy down. Another kill. Another kill. Scratch another one. Another kill.
confirmed. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
Looks like civil war. The centrists in the government and the military have formed an alliance against the ultranationalists. We're getting reports of Russian-on-Russian fighting from Smolensk to Vladivostok. We're continuing our strategy of raids against military bases that are backing the coup. Your next target is the airbase at Arkhangelsk. It's the test site for both the S-37 Berkut, a new experimental fighter prototype, and the Ka-50 Hokum, Russia's next-generation attack helicopter. Your objectives are to plant demo charges in both the Berkut and Hokum hangars, as well as completely shutting down operations in the control tower. Intel indicates that security at Arkhangelsk is light. Apparently there's been a sharp increase in the number of desertions since the coup, so don't worry about trying to finesse your way in. Based on our analysis, the best approach is a direct frontal assault. Hit them hard and fast and get out as quickly as possible.
Gates unguarded.
Maybe they all went home. Goodbye. 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 Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. He's history. Goodbye. history. Goodbye. He's history. Kill confirmed. Goodbye. He's history.
Reports indicate that the centrist forces are stalled in their fight with the ultranationalists. Popular support for the ultranationalists has withered away to practically nothing. They lost all legitimacy when they executed the president, but they still control a sizable chunk of the military. Acting Prime Minister Karpin has privately requested a NATO force to help the loyal Russian troops crush the coup. 1st Armored Division has already crossed the Latvian border and is headed for Moscow. Satellite images show the main ultranationalist force massing near Toropek, about 200 clicks east of our current position. Your mission is to link up with them and spearhead the assault. Expect extremely heavy resistance, armor, Spetsnaz, the works. You'll need to take both passes through the mountains and hold them against all Russian counterattacks. But if we achieve a breakthrough here, the coup is finished.
Oh man, it's cold.
Cold. Too cold for me.
He's history.
I'd see U.S. troops fighting in Red Square on behalf of the Russian people. This is the final showdown, gentlemen. The ultra-nationalists hold the Kremlin and not much else. We're going to finish this thing right here. First order of business is a squad of U.S. troops pinned down just to the east of your current position. Make your way through the medieval quarter, eliminate any resistance you encounter, and relieve those GIs. From there, head south through the gum department store to get to Red Square. The street will be full of refugees, so watch your fire. Remember that we're here as liberators, not as conquerors. Red Square is heavily defended. Be prepared for armor. There's almost no cover, but fortunately the snow should cut visibility and give you an advantage. Now get out there and do your job. Let's win this one and go home.
We're close. Just a couple of blocks.
Watch your backs.
Enemy down. Another kill. Scratch another one. Another kill.
Grenade!
Another kill.
Short.